Marguerite, Diane, and I will be your service leaders today. Welcome to all of you, familiar faces and newcomers. Welcome here in the UCG building. And to all of you on Zoom, welcome. We're glad you're here. We'd like to go around the room and get everybody to introduce themselves. And I'll just pass the microphone. My name is Brian.
Happy spring. My name is Lisa.
Hi, I'm Diane.
Amanda.
Andrea.
Ruth Ann.
Margriet.
Ellie.
Linda.
Lorna.
Michael.
Liam.
And on Zoom?
I'm Elizabeth. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Morning, everyone.
And I'm Maureen.
Hi, Maureen. Welcome.
Hi.
Today's service focuses on spring, on hope, rebirth, and rejuvenation, and how these themes are found in many different disciplines. At UCG, we strive to be a community where everyone is welcome, no matter what your age or gender is, your beliefs or religion, your sexual orientation, your background, or the color of your skin. We welcome all who come in search of truth and meaning, and we will travel, learn, and grow together. If you are new to UCG, we encourage you to check us out a few times. We are a lay-led congregation, and therefore every service looks different. We just introduced ourselves. Do you want to say hi?
Paul.
And now we will do the chalice lighting.
In this flame, we witness the power of transformation, awed again by the wonder of life. We are grateful to be vital to this living universe and inspiring community.
Thank you. And we'll do the territorial acknowledgement.
As we gather, we are reminded that Guelph is situated on land steeped in rich indigenous history and currently home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people. Today, we acknowledge the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, on whose traditional territory we are meeting. Let us be grateful to the many generations who have come before us as we strive to walk together on a path of mutual respect and support. May the decisions we make and the activities we pursue be inclusive and mindful of the many generations yet to come.
Thank you. Our opening words are by Carville Zimmer. If we lived in another climate, our souls might speak other languages. We might speak oasis or permafrost, dry season or monsoon, but our souls speak spring. Our souls speak green shoots pushing through last year's leaves. Our souls speak flower buds stretching to the sun. Our souls speak mud puddle and nest building, damp earth and worm castings, tiny green leaves and frog choruses. We speak spring because spring sings in us. We gather to nurture our faith in our own growing, our own courage to push through, our own blossoming in beauty, our own small part in the spring of this world. Come, let us worship together. We introduced ourselves, so do you want to just say hi?
Hi. I'm Deja.
Hi, Deja.
Thank you. We have some untraditional choices of music today. I guess we're just going to sing along with the video, the YouTube thing that Liam is going to do. If you want to stand up, by all means. I think you all know it's on page 23 of the Chalice Cafe Songbook. To turn it off. What?
Boom diada, boom diada, boom diada, boom die. Boom diada, boom diada, boom diada, boom die. I love the mountains, I love the rolling hills, I love the flowers, I love the daffodils, I love the fireside when all the lights are low. Boom diada, boom diada, boom diada, boom die. Boom diada, boom diada, boom diada, boom die.
I love the mountains, I love the rolling hills, I love the flowers, I love the daffodils, I love the firesides, I love the daffodils, I love the firesides, when all the lights are low. Boom diada, boom diada, boom diada,
Let's go. Boom diada, boom diada, boom diada, boom die. Boom diada, boom diada, boom diada, boom die. Boom, boom, boom.
Beautiful. Wow.
Very nice. Okay, and now we will do the story for all ages.
If there's more lights on.
Everyone will sit up front, I'll sit with you guys. Everybody can sit.
It's Amanda with the little one. Yeah, come sit. Oh, I'm gonna sit on a chair here, okay? No? You want me to sit?
Yes, please.
But Princess and Mocha.
I think we're waiting for one,
yeah.
aren't we?
Are we waiting for one?
There is Sam and Max are
Andrew just
here.
wanted to see if the other kids.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I hear footsteps. So I'm gonna move a little over so Sam and Max can join us, right?
Here we go.
Is it okay if I move this?
Here we go. Oh, we have lots of kids. Yay, yay.
Thanks, Brian, you're good.
And those are the friendly ones.
Our book today is called A New Beginning, Celebrating the Spring Equinox. Leaf buds unfurl on bare branches. Frogs leave their winter hideaways, hop to the nearest water and lay eggs. Crocuses poke tips through the melting snow. Woodchucks whistle, chickadees chirp, and dragonflies emerge from the rivers and ponds. The long nights of winter shorten, and with more hours of sunlight, the weather warms. In the northern half of the world, winter gives way to spring. Robins wing their way back north, and animals give birth to their young. People prepare their fields and plant crops in the softening earth. As the bright sun returns, people open their windows to welcome warm breezes and clear out winter's dust. We pack away our bulky jackets and wear brightly colored clothes to match the fresh shades of spring. The days gradually grow longer, the nights shorter, until around March 21st, day and night are equal. On this day, the earth is tilted so that the sun is directly over the equator. This day is called the spring equinox, meaning equal night. Winter is over and spring begins. In many cultures' calendars, the spring equinox marks a new year, just as January 1st is the beginning of our calendar year. For thousands of years in different places and in different ways, people have celebrated spring as a time of new beginnings when the land becomes alive again. Long ago, some people say too long to be traced, the Chinese began celebrating the end of winter and a new beginning, spring. Today, the second new moon after the winter solstice still marks the Chinese New Year. Families clean their homes to sweep away traces of bad luck. They buy fruits and flowers, hang red banners with good wishes written on them. Dancers wear paper lion masks to scare away evil spirits and bring good luck. Children receive money in red bags. since red means good luck too. On the 15th night, people parade with paper lanterns while fireworks fill the air. Children cheer as a long silk and paper dragon weaves his way around the streets to the beat of a drum. The dragon's appearance is a way of wishing peace, fortune, and good luck to all for the coming year. Over 3,000 years ago, the people of ancient Persia celebrated the spring equinox as a beginning during Nowruz, which means New Year. Today, modern-day Iranians welcome spring just as the ancient Persians did. 10 days before Nowruz, they plant wheat or barley in a flat dish to represent new beginnings and the cycle of life. A few days later, colorfully dressed troubadours announce the coming of the new year. On Nowruz, families stay home and wait for the exact time of the spring equinox begins. Many exchange gifts, think good thoughts, do good deeds, and eat candied fruits to sweeten their lives. They believe that joy and happiness defeat bad spirits. Over 2,000 years ago, people of India celebrated Holi as the beginning of spring to ensure good crops. In Hindu mythology, Holika was a demoness who burned in a fire. Now during Holi, on the night of the full moon in March, the villagers light giant bonfires to represent the triumph of good over evil. The heat of the bonfire is a sign of the hot summer to come, and the villagers bury the ashes to grow better crops. The next morning, the mood changes from gloomy to jolly. People of all ages toss multicolored powder with glitter over each other and load squirt guns with red-tinted water to spray anyone passing by. They all celebrate the coming of spring, singing and dancing with soaking wet rainbow-colored clothes. Many believe this was the origin of April Fool's Day, when people played tricks on one another. About 1,200 years ago, the Maya people in Mexico built many structures to map the cycles of the sun. Their existence centered on the sun and its effect on planting and harvesting. While their vast knowledge of astronomy, architecture, and mathematics, the Maya carefully planned and precisely built structures to predict the seasons. At Chichen Itza, they built El Castillo Pyramid. There, people can still witness an amazing feat. Each year, on the day of the spring equinox, the afternoon sun makes shadows that look like a body of a giant snake over 100 feet long, slithering down the pyramid. At sunset, the body joins a huge stone carving of a snake head located at the bottom of the main staircase. Spring has arrived and planting can begin. Maslenitsa, or Pancake Week in Russia, dates back over 1,000 years. This 7-day sun festival celebrates the returning light. It bade goodbye to the long winter and hello to spring. Families ate warm, round, golden pancakes that look like the sun. The more butter they spread on each pancake, the hotter the sun was supposed to be during the coming summer. They enjoyed horse-drawn sleigh rides in a semicircle trail across the snow, symbolizing the sun's path across the sky. Today, families still celebrate outdoors. They dance, sing songs, jingle bells, enjoy hot tea, and of course eat pancakes. At night, bonfires are lit. Brightly dressed straw scarecrows representing Lady Melnitsa are tossed into the fire. When Melnitsa is over, spring begins. Almost 500 years ago, when the Cree Native Americans experienced long, hungry winters, berries, one of the first signs of spring, were an important sign of the warm season to come. They not only ate the berries, but because bears feasted on them, too, the Cree knew where to hunt bears. They honored the first berries each year by placing them in a bowl, holding them high, and thanking the Great Spirit. The Jewish holiday of Passover celebrates a new beginning. Over 3,000 years ago, the Hebrews were slaves in Egypt. After 400 years of slavery, they were finally freed. Each spring, on the first night of the 8 days of holiday, families gather for a meal called a Seder. They eat special foods, sing songs, and retell the story of how they became free. Each food on the Seder plate tells a different part of the story. A lamb bone symbolizes the lamb that was sacrificed in the ancient temple of Jerusalem. A sprig of parsley dipped in salt water reminds Jews of the tears their people shed when they were slaves. Chereset, a paste of nuts, apples, and wine, reminds them of the clay the slaves used to make bricks. Bitter herbs recall the bitterness of slavery. Matzah, a flat bread, reminds them that there was no time for the bread to rise before the slaves were freed from Egypt. An egg symbolizes the new life that begins each spring. Each year on the day of spring equinox, ancient Saxons in Germany celebrated a festival for the goddess of springtime named Esther. Her earthly symbol was a rabbit. Rabbits and eggs were symbols of rebirth. Many Anglo-Saxons in England dyed eggs by boiling them with flower petals and leaves. Brightly colored eggs represented the bright sun of springtime. At the same time that pagans celebrated their goddess of springtime, Esther, Christians observed Jesus' new beginning when they believed he was raised from the dead. As more people became Christians, the name of their celebration changed from Esther to Easter. On the first Sunday after the full moon, after the spring equinox, Christians celebrate Easter. Many worship outdoors at early sunrise services or in churches filled with flowers and glorious music. Children find Easter baskets filled with chocolate rabbits and colorful eggs, still symbols of Easter. Today, families of all kinds still celebrate spring as a time of new beginnings. They plant flowers and vegetables, play baseball, ride bikes, fly kites, have picnics, enjoy the return of warm days, and welcome spring, a new beginning. There you go. Brian, your arm's falling off. Here we go.
Okay, and now we will do the sharing of joys and sorrows.
Let's take a moment to acknowledge and give thanks for the many ways that people support UCG with their participation, from keeping in touch with fellow congregants to generously donating their time and talents to keep our services, programs, and building running. Thank you. Our congregation thrives because of the commitment of so many of you. We acknowledge those who support UCG through pre-authorized debit. For those here in the sanctuary, we're passing the plate around. Thank you for your generosity. Should we sing it? Come on. I'm not singing in the microphone because your ears will just fall off. Brian, there you go.
Okay, so we'll now have our talk. So Diane and Marguerite and I will each do about a 5-minute presentation about some of the themes that we've been exploring this morning. And Diane, when you're ready, I'll hand the floor to you.
Oh, for goodness sake. Oh, no problem. Okay. I'm going to talk about the spring equinox, or Ostara, which is March 21st. Now, this is a quote from Diane Stein in a book called Casting the Circle, A Woman's Book of Ritual. She writes, in some forms of paganism, Ostara is a time of renewal and rebirth. Days and nights are equal length, and the year is waxing into warm fertility and light. Eggs are the Sabbath's primary symbol for fertility and also for the great cosmic egg of the goddess, from which the earth and the universe were hatched. This is the time for new lambs, calves, chicks and colts, and for babies and little children. Pastel candles, spring flowers, colored eggs, and children's things. Goddesses for spring are mother goddesses. Traditional foods for spring equinox are eggs, green growing things, and children's foods. The colors are pastels, and the theme is childhood innocence. Use a rainbow of bright colors for this Sabbath and a playful tone and mood. I love this book. Diane really has a way of speaking. Now, pagans love nature and being outdoors. Here in Canada, however, there's often still snow on the ground. There's still a reason to be joyful and have fun. Pagans love ritual, and in my experience, we have fun and enjoy rituals as well. Light and dark are equal, and we celebrate the return of the season of warmth and the renewal of the natural world. The earth herself is sacred to us, and watching the snowdrops peeking out of the snow reminds me there is still hope. Change is constant both in the natural world and in our own lives. The miracle of the birth of new life and the wonder of seeing the cold, dark winter turn into a warm green spring is reason to celebrate no matter what you believe in. I love this Sabbath because it brings me back to my childhood. Chocolate eggs and bunnies are usually used in our rituals too, if we can. Well, we don't feel guilty. Pagans are, for the most part, joyful people. We like having fun, and our rituals usually reflect this. Ostera is a time to bring flowers and chocolate into our homes to honor the earth and thank her for the return of spring. Now, I've got some questions for you to think about. What are your own spring rituals? Does your family have certain traditions for this time of year? Easter egg hunts was always my favorite. If you don't have any spring rituals, create your own. It's a great way to celebrate the season. Have fun, and don't forget, there's no calories in chocolate the whole 3 days of Easter.
Thank you. If only that were true.
Unfortunately, Grandma Judy's a calling. Can you read my stuff?
Oh, sure, okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so I could never do Marguerite justice, but I'm going to read her contribution. Here in North America, when most people hear the word Christmas, often the first things that comes to mind are Christmas trees, Santa Claus, and gifts. When hearing the word Easter, we tend to think about chocolate bunnies and Easter eggs, with or without calories.
Yes.
Both festive holidays find their origin in Christianity, but it has been so commercialized that most often the chocolates and such come to mind first. Even folks from other backgrounds and other religions join in the festivities, even though it has nothing to do with their own culture or religion. But interestingly, many cultures and religions do celebrate this time of year. They celebrate, and this is a time of renewal. This is a story from an indigenous source. When the snows melt, a story of spring. In the heart of the boreal forest, where the rivers begin to flow again after months of silence, young Willow walked alongside her grandmother, Nokomis. It was Easter weekend, and while her school had talked about bunnies, chocolates, and a man named Jesus, Willow had other questions. Why don't we do Easter like others Nokomis? She said, her moccasins brushing last year's leaves. Nokomis smiled, eyes soft like the thawing earth. We do, but in our own way, she said. She pointed to the sky, where geese returned in great V-shapes, honking songs older than memory. This time of year, long before Easter came to these lands, our people celebrated the return of life. We called it the awakening. They reached the edge of the maple grove, where the sap dipped slow and sweet. Willow placed her hand on a tree, feeling its pulse. See, child? The tree wakes up, the animals stir, and the land breathes again. We honor this time with ceremony, song, and gratitude. The Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, and the Makameng. Each nation has their own stories, but they all begin with life returning. But what about Easter eggs? Willow asked, curious. Even that has roots here, Nokomis chuckled. The egg is a symbol of birth. We've always understood the circle of life, birth, death, and rebirth. It's just that some of us tell that story with sweetgrass and water drums, not chocolate and candy. They sat by the sugar bush fire where other aunties and uncles laughed, boiling syrup and telling stories. Willow watched as children danced in the muddy snow, faces painted with ash and joy. Spring was here, not just in the calendar, but in the heart of the land. And for Willow, that was the truest celebration of all. Here in Canada, many of our fellow citizens are from India, and Hinduism is practiced by the majority. At its heart, Easter is about renewal, rebirth, and the triumph of life over death. These are themes that also resonate deeply within Hindu beliefs. Have a listen to this following story, Buds of Belief. It was the first warm day of April in Toronto. The snow had finally surrendered to patches of green, and tulips peeked shyly through the soil. In the Patel household, preparations were underway, not for Holi or Navratri, but for Easter brunch with their neighbors, the O'Connors. 12-year-old Ananya watched her mom carefully shape mango shirkand into little bowls garnished with saffron and pistachio. Mama, she asked, why do we celebrate Easter with them when we're Hindu? Her mother smiled, placing the tray into the fridge. Because spring belongs to everyone, Betty. Easter is about renewal, and we know a thing or two about that. Ananya thought about Holi, the festival of colors. Just last month, they'd smeared gulag on each other's faces and lit a bonfire to mark the triumph of good over evil. It had felt like saying goodbye to winter and starting fresh. Mama continued, in Hinduism, life is a cycle, birth, death, and rebirth. That's what Easter is, too. Jesus' resurrection symbolizes hope after sorrow, just like spring after winter. Just like Krishna reminding us that the soul never dies, it only changes bodies. At church the next day, Ananya wore her brightest yellow dress. She helped hide Easter eggs in the O'Connors' backyard, tucking a few behind maple saplings just beginning to bud. She noticed how the sunlight danced on the grass as if the earth was waking up. As they all sat down for the mixed feast, pav bhaji, beside deviled eggs, carrot cake, next to kaju kati, Mrs. O'Connor raised her glass. To new beginnings, she said. Ananya raised hers too, and to spring in all its colors. We are lucky to live in a multicultural society where we can learn so much from one another. Easter can be a celebration that brings people together, celebrating the cycle of spring and rebirth, and with that, of hope. So now I'll read my own contribution. So I have some images. I have some images that I found online that Liam is going to give me a hand with. In the opening words to Eckhart Tolle's 2005 A New Earth, Tolle describes how the emergence of the Earth's first flower might have appeared. Earth, 114 million years ago, one morning, just after sunrise, the first flower ever to appear on the planet opens up to receive the rays of the sun. Prior to this momentous event that heralds an evolutionary transformation in the life of plants, the planet had already been covered in vegetation for millions of years. The first flower probably did not survive for long, and flowers must have remained rare and isolated phenomena, since conditions were most likely not yet favorable for a widespread flowering to occur. One day, however, a critical threshold was reached, and suddenly there would have been an explosion of color and scent all over the planet if a perceiving consciousness had been there to witness it. I've always loved this beautiful imagery of the emergence of a new variety of life on the planet. Oh yeah, okay, thanks. Flowers have always been important and powerful symbols of cultural, religious, and creative expressions, and are associated with many of these of the events we're discussing this morning. Spring equinox, paganism, indigenous traditions, Easter, Passover, Earth Day, and other cultural and religious events all use flower symbolism. There's a universality to the importance of flowers. They transcend generations as well as geographical and regional differences. Ancient civilizations valued flowers every bit as much, and indeed in some cases considerably more than we do. They remind us of our relationship with the planet. Today, flowers are present at weddings, funerals, graduations, and other important transitional ceremonies. Many Unitarian Universalist congregations have flower communion ceremonies in May or June. Flowers are used in medicines and are instrumental in food production. We'll go to the next one. They add texture, color, and beauty to our lives. They've been shown to reduce stress and anxiety. We give flowers to people in the hospital. Lovers give flowers to each other. They represent beauty, peace, love, hope, healing, and fragility. But they also represent power, strength, and resistance. For example, the flower power countercultural movement of the 60s and 70s. Go to the next one. Isn't that a beautiful image? These kids protesting Vietnam, putting flowers into the barrels of rifles. I've always thought that was a powerful image. Flowers add texture, color, and beauty to our lives. They've been shown, I read that. Farmers rely on flowers for pollination, to feed their livestock, and to determine the health of their crops. They represent spring, transition, the earth replenishing itself. They represent abundance, the natural world, the end of winter, and new life. We use flowers to express sorrow, hope, joy, and vitality. They are recurring images in poetry and music and the visual arts. Shakespeare's Rose by Any Other Name in Romeo and Juliet, for example, or Vincent van Gogh's Sunflowers. Go to the next one. Flowers are both delicate and strong, both temporary and universal. They're also important indicators of the health and the balance of the planet. How many of us have been in large urban areas, for example, where we don't see flowers and natural vegetation, where all we seem to notice are skyscrapers, and pavements, and parking lots, and sidewalks, and what that feels like. One of the things I love about Unitarian Universalism is how mindful we are about our relationship with the natural world. Historically, especially in the West, nature has sometimes been portrayed as the enemy, as the antithesis of progress, as something that needed to be dominated or mastered or even destroyed. The thinking was that mankind was somehow at odds with or separate from nature. Flowers, I think, remind us to think about our place in the world. They do, I think, reflect our 7th UU principle, respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. I think flowers are the perfect symbol for this time of year, and in many ways of what Unitarian Universalism itself stands for: openness, growth, diversity, and the abundance of community. Like the flower, Unitarianism is a living, growing, dynamic, delicate, and powerful force. And like the flower, it needs to be cared for, nurtured, and appreciated. These are words from the UU website. We are people of all ages, people of many backgrounds, and people of many beliefs. We are brave, curious, and compassionate thinkers and doers. We create spirituality and community beyond boundaries, working for more justice and more love in our own lives and in the world. Unitarian Universalism draws from our heritages of freedom, reason, hope, and courage, building on the foundation of love. Love is the power that holds us together and is at the center of our shared values. The values we share include interdependence, pluralism, justice, transformation, generosity, and equity. Whatever tradition you follow, whatever ways you acknowledge spring or the changing of the seasons, I hope you take the time to stop and smell the flowers and appreciate your inherent value, interconnectedness, and the unique place you hold in the world. Thanks, everybody.
Oh, sorry.
We'll do another song, another unconventional song.
And do you want to play it or do you want to play along with the video?
I'll play along with the video.
And there's at least one other person, but I think 3 other persons that know the song. Dona Nobis Pacem.
Only one now.
Sorry? I'll wait.
People
of a certain age know Latin,
right? Words are very simple. So do you know it?
Yeah, we did it all last year. I was in a choir last season, and then that was one of the songs we did.
all the gray hairs,
Mozart.
I know a little bit of Latin.
It means God give us peace. If you can sing along, sing along. If you want to stand up.
Dona nobis pacem.
thank you all for joining in. That was very heartwarming. And I hope it will bring us all peace in these days. Oh yeah, I have to. This day is not going according to plan for me. But you're hoping.
Yeah.
Is it on? Our closing words are by Elizabeth M. Strong. It has taken long months beneath cold ground for these flowers to prepare their blooming. It has taken each of us long times of growth through sorrow and joy to prepare for our living now. The blooming season is short. The flowers stay only a brief time. We are travelers upon the earth, travelers through all too brief lifetimes. Therefore, let our moments be bountiful.
No, it's still on.
Let us rejoice in our unique colors, aromas, and sounds. Let us celebrate together in love. As we travel away, we take with us the memory of golden hours together among the flowers.
Don't want to set myself on fire here. We gather to light this chalice, we part the flame lit within us, an inspired community.
Thanks, everybody. Any announcements?